are working. Looks like we're working to me. Alright. Well, it's finally Battletech time. I have finished my table of terrain setup. And it's finally time to get some games on the channel, playing with myself, playing Battletech. What was the holdup? Why did it take so long? Being completely honest, finishing these little blocks of terrain, these little guys, I've had them painted and done and stuff for about a month. Convincing myself to top coat them took a lot of effort. Thanks for that mental illness. But did it, and here we are. We have our table set up all ready to rock. So a couple notes about the table, because I want to talk about this stuff since I made it and it's cool and I'm a little bit proud of it and I think it's fancy. I've made a bunch of these on the channel. They're chipboard bases with Mod Podge and baking soda, and then 3D printed buildings from the Lazy Forger. I absolutely love these buildings. I spent about a year legitimately trying to find buildings that printed really well on my printers, both FDM and resin, and I just couldn't find buildings that I liked that printed well. No matter what I did. So I found these and I just fell in love with them. The level of detail is phenomenal, and they look just wonderful, and they come with all these cool little bits and bobs, you know, like little fence pieces and little tubes to put on the houses and these towers and stuff. So like I kit bashed all these little like pseudo terrain pieces for that. I like this idea. Instead of making like a full board, I like the idea of having one that's like semi-modular, you know what I mean? Some of these chunks are pretty big, right? Like some of these are like 8.5 inches long about. And then I made the smaller ones kind of to break up the like torpedo-ness of the terrain, so I can have some more interesting layouts. Yeah, and I am extremely, extremely happy with it. I didn't do anything crazy with the painting. They're all really basically painted, just tan and gray, which is pretty sweet. You can tell I really liked the cell phone towers. I thought they were really cool, so I used them in a lot of places. I thought they added a lot of like cool, like kind of techno-y look to it. These buildings are from multiple sets from the Lazy Forger. Hello! Happy 4th to you too. Mixed together. So this is a mix of Asian City 1, 2, and 3. And they call it like New Medina or something like that. That one, and then I think some from Shantytown. One of the Shantytowns though, I think it might be the first one. The buildings are not designed the same way as all the other buildings. I think Shantytown 1. It's in another video of mine. But yeah, just be aware of that. So check all the files and stuff. But they're pretty sweet. I'm super happy with it. Game mats from Frontline Gaming. This is like a fantasy mat, but I thought it looks really cool. It's got some little rock bits and stuff in it. There's some big runes and stuff in the ground, but it's okay. When I brought this out to play before this terrain, I played on like a grasslands mat that my parents got me for my birthday. But that one's in the bag downstairs, so I just didn't grab it while I was setting up. But, alright, so let me power myself up with some Baja Blast, because I really need it. I am really, really, really dragging today. But I've been wanting to do this. I'm going to push through stupid mental illness and do it because I fucking want to. So, these are the custom objective markers I made. They're like an urban mech and some little guys and some little trucks. They're probably a little hard to see on camera. Let me find one that might be a little easier to see. That one's just like a pair of legs stuck in the ground. The robot trying to pull it out. A little guy there. Here's an urban mech that like they sort of loaded onto the truck and are just like, shit, this truck's too small. Right. So these are my kind of silly objective markers. Alphastrike tends to work really well with objective markers. If you play just flat out kill each other, it works, but it works better with objective markers because it gives you something to do. So it's less of a like, I can do this amount of damage, you can do that amount of damage kind of trade. Personally, anytime I play any wargaming, I want to get away from the concept of trading as much as possible. Everything I can do to break down that concept, I want to, right? I don't want my players, or, you know, personally, I don't want to be thinking about that equation, right? Like, oh, this unit's worth 200 points, that one's worth 300, so if I lose this guy killing that one, I'm still technically up a net gain, right? Like, I don't really want to do that. It takes me out of the fun, that takes me out of, like, the enjoyment of like moving plastic soldiers around a table, you know what I mean? So I feel like objectives do that a little bit better here because it gives you something to focus on. So we're also going to randomly control one of the sides here. So we have two sides today. Sorry about that. Camera decided it wanted to take a nap. Side number one, in honor of Murica, we have Clan Sneck Cobra. They're just going to be like generic mercenaries or bandits or something this time. They're all painted in this like kind of pseudo-urban camo. So like that, or and I shifted the color palette around so some of them are more green than tan. And my camera keeps falling out of its stupid thing. Give me a second. I gotta get a new holder for this. This one sucks. There we go. How about that? That better? I think that's better. So some of these are like green based, and some are like tan based. So there's your Grendel or Ryan. I kind of tried to pick ones that were sort of like industrial looking. So like here's a Griffin. But that's our one side. That's our AI controlled side. So how they're going to work? They're going to work like normal alphastrike. However, all their movement's going to be in a random direction. And I know I've been using lots of like random like generators and stuff, and I love random generators. But random generators don't work super good for alphastrike. And the reason for that, if anyone's curious, is because there's not actually a lot of options in alphastrike for what your units can do per action, right? It's like move, run, jump, like there's interesting interactions there, but it's not like to the degree of what you have in, say, like the expanded rules for Grimdark Future Firefight, right? You have a lot more options there, so you can have a lot more variation. So instead of modifying that variation there, what we're going to do is we're going to create the variation by having them randomly move. So they're going to randomly move in a direction. I've got my good friend Scatterdice here. He's not actually my good friend. I really only use him in Necromunda. But they're going to randomly move. So every time one of them activates, I'm going to activate that model. I'm going to roll the scatter dice, and I'm going to move them their move in the direction of the scatter dice. Now this is going to impact the game because they're going to shoot the closest target that they can see. So as they randomly move, that closest target's going to randomly change. So I'm trying to enforce some variation and some randomness. And I think doing it with movement's probably the best idea. Give me 1 second. There we go. So that's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to control the AI this time. And it should be pretty fun. My guys, they are just going to be pretty much normal. I'm just going to control them normally. I've got about 250-ish points of them. The enemy has about... They have a little bit of a point advantage. They have like 300-ish points. So my guys, they are... What is it? The Magicrasty of Canopus. Right? So they're Canopian. I like Canopus. I think their lore is fun. I got some fun things. Like here's a Thug. I like the Thug a lot. It's probably actually one of my favorite designs. We got a Thug. I've got... I think this is a Mercury. We've got the Flashman, who's like an upgraded like trash can. I got a Hatchet Man because it's always fun to do some melee. Last but not least, I've got the Dragon. I like the design of the Dragon a lot. I think he's really fun. So, I love Battletech designs. I love like the jankiness of some of them. I think it's really cool. So, with that, we're pretty much going to roll off and get going. I thought I was on the other camera while I was adjusting that one. I apologize. There we go. I'll turn myself off the camera so you can see the bad guys over here. All right. Any other housekeeping? There's a little bit of housekeeping still. I apologize. I know. I'm just putting these guys out. All right. The last bit of housekeeping are these. This is a quick cheat sheet from Death from Above Wargaming. This is pretty much the ideal way to play alphastrike. It's super good. You can see mine's all beat up because I played the living hell out of it. When I could play before COVID shut up again. And it essentially runs you through all the steps. It's really good. Nice and simple and clear. Really nice. I like these a lot. They're pretty great. And then this gives you all the nice, fine details. It's really cool. Alright. So with that, we're going to rock and roll. So first we need to determine initiative. So it's going to be me with the rainbow dice and them with the black dice. Rolling 2d6. Alright, they've got 11, I've got 7. The person with the lower initiative has to go first. This is because Battletech is a game... It is a game where everything on the turn happens at one time. So if you kill my guy before he can activate, he still gets to activate. What you're doing is you're just killing him so he's dead next round. So when you lose the initiative in Battletech, your enemy has to go first because it gives you the ability to react to them. So that means I'm going to get to move first, right? So I'm going to pick a unit down in front of me here. Down in front of me here, I have these orange cards. These are the alphastrike cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a guy and I'm going to move his MV value or his move value. And then I'm going to put a dice next to him with a value on it based on his TMM. This is the target move number. I'm going to put this dice on him just to make my life easier and faster later on. This is really a thing mainly from words, Josh. This is really a thing mainly from old Battletech or Battletech Classic, but I like to do it here because it helps me personally speed up. And it helps me like keep my head a little bit clearer of the options and stuff. So I'm gonna put a dice next to a guy every time one moves, and it should be pretty good. All right, so I'm just gonna go down the line that I have in front of me, and I'm gonna move my spider, who has a 16-inch move and is TMM 3, and I don't have a measuring device. I got everything else but a measuring device. 1 second. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. By the way, this is like $2. I found it at like the local hardware store. It's like $2. It's literally like the perfect measuring device for Battletech because it's super tiny and you don't really usually have like these massive like 4 feet ranges or anything. It's insane. All right, so this guy, who is a speedy mofo, he can move 16. So 16, we're gonna say right there. Yep. I'll go ahead and I'll put him right here. Okay. All right, now we're gonna go over to the enemies. I have the enemy cards just off camera, just right. Actually, you can actually see them right. They're right here. So I'm just gonna go down the line every time with them, like bam, 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 like that. That's how I'm gonna do it. So we've got the Orion with a 8-inch move. All right, now I'm putting the dice next to him so I know what his TMM is. All right, so the Orion. Let's see which way the Orion's gonna go. It says he's going to go backwards, but he can't go backwards because he's coming onto the board. So he's just going to stay where he is on the edge of the board. And we'll give him his TMM of 1. Go. Alright. Now it's my turn. So I'm going to do the dragon. Alright, 10 inches on the dragon. He is a speedier boy than I thought he would be. That's true. Alright. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even talk about what the mission objective is. God, I talked about the objective markers and how I made them. And then I was like, I like it when there's objectives on alphastrike. I think it's more fun. I didn't even talk about what I'm doing. Okay, so you can't... I'm just going to keep moving, guys, as I talk. You can't really... another guy's just saying where he's at. Let's see, who is that? That's the Mongrel. You can't really force Battletech to 3 TMM. Okay. You can't really force AI to do objectives very well in Battletech. So what I'm doing is I'm going to play an objective and basically just try to survive the enemy while I do it, essentially. So do I actually have enough dice? See, I need 5 more for those guys, so that's that. And then I need what? 5, 8 more? I think I might be 1 dice short. Hold on 1 second. I gotta grab a dice for more TMMs. Sorry. I am looking for other things as well. cool. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Got enough dice. We're good now. Alright. See, I moved. I think I moved one. Okay, so the enemies... That way, huh? Okay. Where's that? That's the Cobra. The enemy AI does not work super well for Battletech for holding objectives, right? But what I can do is I can play the objective. And basically just try to, like, survive the enemy, right? Because there's more of them. They have a higher points advantage. I need to do stuff on the table that's going to give them an advantage. So it should work out pretty well. This has worked out fairly well when I played in the past. So I'm going to hope that that's going to keep running. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay. Why is somebody rolling back like it's all been this way? What is this? It's fine. It's the king crab. He'll just stay where he is. He can still shoot the shit out of everything, so it's okay. Alright. So, we've got a lot of guys to deploy. Alright. That's the Arctic cheetah with a 12-inch move. So he's pretty much going to move as far as I can reach, and we'll call that good. So the TM&M values, these are going to be useful later, because they're going to help us. Oh, I skipped over the thug. They're going to help us when we're doing the math for shooting and stuff. Alright, since this is deployment, I'm just going to finish my side up, and then we can just do all of them going down the line. Wow, Mercury's got some legs. So, God, I keep getting sidetracked. I apologize. I'm a little all over the place, as you can probably tell. So I apologize. But I wanna play with my toys, right? I wanna push through. I wanna get through this malaise that I've been in kind of all weekend. So, thank you for hanging out with me while I do that, and I apologize if I sometimes get sidetracked or say weird shit. Just apologizing in advance for when I do that. Alright, so moving down the enemy side. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, so who hasn't moved? I've got 5 guys on the enemy team to still move. Alright, so we're gonna roll directions. So just run down the line. Okay, cool. So he's going that way, and that is the fire moth. Holy shit. The fire moth has a 26-inch move. Man, he a speedy boy. Wow. Wow. Okay. Zoom. That also means he has a TMM of 4, so he's going to be hard to hit. He's going to be super hard to hit. Alright. Guy next to him, that's the Griffin. He's going to stay where he's at. I'm sorry, that's the Wolverine. I apologize. And then next one up. Stand where he's at. Next one after that. Moving down this way. Next one after that. Stand where he's at. Okay. You know what? When it rolls like this, I should just say they're no move. So they should get a negative TMM. That's what I should do. So we'll do that. So there is nothing with a TMM of 6 that I have. So I'm using the 6s to represent zeros. And then the Pack Hunter, who's also a really speedy sniper boy. See a 4 or 3? It's a 3. Okay. And we are out on the table. This is everybody deployed. The first round is always just deployment, right? It is, in theory, if you're going to map the game to like a battle, right? The first round is your guys walking onto the battlefield. That's what it is. That's how deployment in Battletech works. You don't place them within a zone or anything like that. They, in theory, start from just outside the edge. They, in theory, start from like just outside the battlefield edge, like right, like just outside there, and then they walk on, right? So that's what just happened. This is technically considered us deployed. So now we're going to go into turn 1. So enemy is going to get 2 red. I'm going to have my rainbow dice. The enemy is lower, so they're going to have to go first. Alright, let's roll a direction. We're moving down this way. Well, let's see who that is. That is the Orion. Okay. So it's probably really hard to see. These guys did not move as much as I expected them to, so I apologize for that. There we go. Alright, so Orion, he's just going to do this. Boom. Alright, now it's my turn to move somebody. So this is a game of phases, but it is a game of back and forth phases. So like I don't move all my guys and then you move all yours, like we go back and forth. But it is still phases. So everybody's going to move, then they're going to shoot, and then we're going to end, and we're going to repeat. Move, shoot, and repeat. Move, shoot, and repeat like that. So, God, just to demonstrate how all over the place I've been, I've talked about the objectives now 4 times and have not told you what my plan for them is. So I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to do that. Objectives on the table. The enemy isn't playing them. The enemy is just going to try to murder. My goal for the objectives is to stand on the objectives for a turn. If I do this, my guys can't shoot or attack or melee or anything because they are in theory recovering something from one of the downed mechs, right? They're picking out some kind of technology, picking up the pilot. They're doing something like that. So they can't shoot or anything like that. They can't shoot, they can't melee, and they need to do that for 1 turn. So 1 whole turn. So if I move there, they need to stay there basically through the whole next turn. So that includes no moving off of it. That includes no actions. So this should also give the enemy a pretty big advantage. Alright. So, let's move our Mercury boy up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll move the spider. Yeah, let's move the spider. We'll keep it simple. We'll just go down the line. Alright. I'm gonna say that he's gonna move up to here. And hide behind these buildings. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna hope that enough the enemy doesn't walk forward to blast the living shit out of him. Alright. Now enemy turn. We're gonna say that's cocked, because I want them to move off the board a little. Mother. That's obnoxious. Okay, well, who was that? That was the Mongrel. Okay, well, he's just gonna stay where he's at then. Alright, my turn then. Says the dragon as he moves up onto the battlefield. Next up, we got another enemy. Alright, they're moving out finally. Who is that? That's the Battle Cobra. What's his move? 12. Alright. Man, he's moving right down. He's going downtown. I like it. Battle Cobra. Clonk, clonk, clonk. Walks his way down. Alright. I'm going to do the Centurion next. He's a slow boy, but I love the Centurion. It's legitimately one of my favorite designs. Because it's just like so generic, and I like that. I think that's fun. Like he looks like the mech from everything ever. King Crab. Clonk, 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 clonk. Alright. Thug. 8 inches on the thug. Yeah, let's try to move him this way. He's gonna move slow, but it's okay. Alright. Who's staying in place? It's the Arctic Cheetah. Alright, well. So you can see I'm updating the dice as their movements change. So if one of them were to run or anything like that, I would update it. I'm just going danger close against that really fast kitty cat. Alright, he's moving down. That's the Hellion. What's this TMM? 3 and 18. Excuse my reach. It's gonna be a hell of a run. He was right there. Alright. Man, they really like this little checkpoint here. Okay. Next up, I did the Flashman. I need to do my Mercury still. Can he get up to that one? He can. Alright, we're going to get him up to this one. Who's staying still? It's the Howler. Alright, well, he's the same dice as last time. And last but not least, we got the Hatchet Man. Who, it always boggles my mind. The Hatchet Man actually goes really, really slow. Like, you think he would have some good legs on him, but he doesn't. Alright, that's my whole side moved. I think I need to do 3 on the enemy side still. So the Fire Moth and the Wolf. So the Fire Moth is going to stay where he's at, which is this guy right here. The Wolverine could basically stay where he's at. And last but not least, we have the Long Boy Pack Hunter, who's going to move that way 14 inches. Alright. And that's it for turn 1 movement. Now we get into the fun stuff. You're probably like, that's a lot of mechs to be moving around. You're right, it is. That's one of the reasons why I'm moving down the cards, right? Like, I'm going ding 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 ding, because that way I have an easier time remembering it. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing that. Also, mechs die really, really fast in this. So, they die extremely fast. So, enemy has to shoot first. So, let's see who we got. We've got the Orion. Who can the Orion see? Okay. How are we going to treat line of sight? How are we going to... So, can they shoot through buildings if you're not fully hidden behind them? Alright, so this is what we're going to do. If you are next to a building, it will count as obscuring. So, okay, so here's the Mercury, which I think would be his target. If you are next to a building, it would count as obscuring, right? So anyone shooting from this direction, this would be obscuring. Anyone shooting from any other direction, that's not going to be obscuring. That includes shooting through building sets that are in the way. So you have to be next to the terrain to get the cover, I think, is the best way to play it. So, with that being said, we're going to shoot at the spider, because he's actually the closest. So we're actually going to shoot at the spider. Who is this little boy right here. We're going to shoot at him with the Orion, and he's just going to get cover. So, how to resolve weapon attacks. So we just verified line of sight. We have enough firing arc. What that means is your models technically have a firing arc. So they have a front, and they have a back, and then they have sides in alphastrike. Sorry, it's a little blurry there. But if you're on the front or the sides, you can shoot. If you're on the back, unless you have a back-mounted weapon, you can't shoot. So, alright, so we've done that. We need to determine the range. So let's figure out the range. Alright, we're looking at 18 inches. And now we need to determine the 2-hit number. Alright. We're just looking at these attack modifier table right here. Alright. So, my guy did a ground move. So that's a 0. Right? the target, he moved, right? So that's his plus TMM. So we're 0 plus 3. Range, we are at medium range. So that's going to be plus 2. And then he has cover in between. So that's going to be another plus 1. So we're looking at 3, 5, 6. And then we also have to count his shooting. Just to make this game a little faster, we're going to just say everyone has 3 shooting. Normally the standard is 4, but let's say our boys are extra killy today. So we're going to go from that 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3, right? So we essentially have a 9, right? So we're going to roll for 9 damage. Now, when we look at the Orion, come on. Alright. We can see what damage he's doing at what range. So medium range is actually his, that's his good shit. That's where he's doing the most damage. So he's going to roll 4 damage. Alright, and we're going to do this the Death from Above Wargaming way. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll 4 dice and a pilot die. And then we're going to add this dice and the pilot die to every one to see if we beat 9. So this is essentially a 2d6 roll with one of the dice being static. Alright, so here we have 6, right? So 6 plus 1 is 7. That doesn't beat 9. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 4 is 10. Plus 4 is 10. So 3 of our dice hit. Okay? So we're going to do 3 damage to the spider. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop open his card right here. And I'm going to mark off damage. So 1, 2, we're going to mark those off. And then he has 1 point of structure. So the 2 white circles next with the A next to him, that's his armor. The 1 point, there are the 3 red circles, that is his structure. That's like the internals, that's everything that's holding him together. Okay? So, since we went inside his structure, we now need to do a critical roll. Okay? So, if we're rolling the critical, we're going to roll on the chart here. All right, so one of those is a 2. One of them is a 4, so that gives us a 6. So it hit his weapon. Okay, so we're going to come back and we're going to mark that on the card. We're going to say weapon. Alright, so he's actually doing -1 damage now. Purple's actually probably really hard to see. I apologize. Let me swap to a different color. It might be easier to see. Okay, cool. So now, not only does all of his armor get blown off by the Orion, he's now took like a critical hit, right? So he's now going to be suffering some kind of negative. All right. So with that, that means it's my turn. My turn. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now, the really cool thing about this game is this probably seems super complicated. However, this is literally the only thing you need to know. And once you know this, you can crank it out like this. And it's really cool. So as we play on, I'm going to basically stop walking through this. And I'm just going to be like, okay, this is a 6, that's a 4, like that. Alright? And it can get really fast. And it can feel really cool because of that. It's actually one of the few board games, or not board games, tabletop games I found that does that. That, like, there's never a point where you need to, like, stop and think, really, about, like, some super detailed thing. But this can get super detailed, which is really cool. So it kind of has both sides of that coin. Okay, so it's my turn now. We're going to go with the spider. Next turn, he's going to try to capture that point, but that means that he's going to get to shoot this turn, so we're going to shoot with him. Okay? So, he didn't jump or anything, so we're going to get a 0 for that, his movement modifier. He's going to shoot this guy here in front of him. The guy's got 2. So he's going to have a base skill of 3. Right? And then we're going to add the 2 to it. There's no cover between them, and they are at short range. So he's going to shoot for 1 damage. Does that mean he actually can't shoot at all? Holy shit, hold on. Can he be reduced to 0? Oh, I guess he can. Alright. Well, I guess he's not going to do shit. Alright, well, I guess all his weapons blew up in that shot from the Orion. Okay, so he's not doing nothing. Alright, so enemy time. Next up, we have the Mongrel. The Mongrel is back here. The Mongrel is probably going to shoot at... the Mongrel should probably shoot at the Mercury. Alright, but we're going to count this as 1 and 2. No, we're going to say this is line of sight blocking. So we're going to say he can't see the Mercury, he can't see this guy. He can see the dragon. So we're going to shoot at the dragon. The Mongrel's got... this is going to be medium range. So the Mongrel's got 4 damage going into the dragon. Alright. 4 damage going into the dragon. Okay. So the Mongrel's going to have 3 for his TMM. He's going to have 2 for long range. He didn't have any movement modifiers. And he's going to have another 2, which is going to be 7, plus the piece of terrain in the way, which is going to be 8. So none of these equal 8, so his shots are just wide and miss. Alright, my turn. Next, we're going to shoot with the dragon. And we're going to shoot this little fucker right here. So it's going to be 2 damage. The dragon does not have as much damage as I thought he did. Alright, so it's going to be 3. So that's going to be 9 and 8. So we're looking at 3. This is medium range, so plus 2 for that. That equals 7. There's no terrain. So we're looking at 7. So both of those hit. So, marking it off. Which one is that? That is the Battle Cobra for 2 damage. Expected the dragon to do more damage, to be honest. Alright, enemy turn. Ironically, it's the Battle Cobra. Well, the Battle Cobra is going to shoot the closest thing to him, which is the spider. The Battle Cobra gets... Wow! 4 damage at range 0. Holy crap. Alright, so we're looking at 3 skill, 3 for movement, 0 for range. So both of these fail, but 2 hits go through. This guy only has 2 more points of life. So he is out of the game. First thing to die. Alright, so his turn's already taken, so I'm just going to remove him. Normally you should wait to the end of the round. But nothing else can shoot him because he's dead now. So we're just gonna remove him. Shit, okay. Alright. Well, I guess I'm gonna use the Centurion next. He's gonna shoot into this guy as well. So we're looking at 3s plus 2 for the target move modifier plus 2 for range. That's 7. 7 on 3 dice. All those hit. 3 points of damage going into the Battle Cobra. So that's going to put him internal. Alright. So we're going to go. And now we need to roll for his crit. So he went internal. We got a 9. The really fun thing about this crit table, by the way, is there actually is instant kills on here. So you can, like, headshot people and they fucking just die. Alright, so 9 is actually nothing. It means that we critted something that don't matter. Alright. Nice. Okay, enemy turn. The King Crab's going to go. I'm going to say that guy's blocked by cover, which means it's probably you, but it's going to be a hard shot for the King Crab, but we're going to do it. King Crab is 3 dice at medium range, so, alright. Then we're looking at 3s, plus this thing's movement of 2, plus another 2 for that, plus 1 piece of terrain in the middle, so we're looking at 8s. 8s on 3 dice, shooting into the Raven. 1 hits. The rest do jack. Which is unfortunate because the Raven does not have a lot of life. Alright, my turn. Well, the Thug is up next. The Thug really can't see anything. He really can't see anything, so we're basically just going to skip him, and we're going to go to the next enemy turn, which is going to be the Arctic Cheetah. Which one is the Arctic Cheetah again? Some with the shoulder missile pods. Okay, so that guy all the way back there. Or is this the Arctic Cheetah? No, it's that guy all the way back there. All the way back there in the corner. There he is. All the way back there. Okay, so that's the Arctic Cobra, or Arctic Cheetah. There's so many Arctic things, because there's also like an Arctic Fox, and anyway. Okay, so he's going to be shooting at, we'll say he can see the Mercury right there, who is right here, we'll say that. So we're going to say 3 plus 4, which makes it 7, okay? Now, he's going to get a -1 because he stood still. So that's going to make it 6, but then we're going to add another 1 for the terrain in the middle, so it's going to make it 7 again. Wait, no, it's going to make it 6, plus 1 for the terrain, plus 1 for range, plus 2 for range. So that's actually going to make it a 9. Alright, so we're looking at 9 from the Cheetah, who has 3 damage. Alright, and none of those are going to get us to 9. Okay. So my turn. So I guess I'll shoot the Raven. I'm going to shoot the Raven here into this guy here. So that's going to be 2 shots at basically 3s. That's what this is. Because this doesn't add anything to the TMM when they have a 0. So this is basically going to be 3s. Ironically, I rolled a 3 for one of them, but 2 shots hit onto that little guy. Onto the Fire Moth. 2 hits on the Fire Moth. And that Fire Moth is not having a good day. Because he's only got 2 points of life. So he fucking did. So they blew up one of my guys. I blew up one of theirs. Seems relatively fair, although they have a lot more guys than I do. Okay. Enemy turn. So who's up next? It's the Hellion, which is that guy that I thought was the Fire Moth right here. Um, Alright, so I guess he's going to shoot at the dragon. I think that's the best thing for him to shoot at. So we're looking at how many shots? 3 shots. Alright. So we're looking at 3 shots, right? 2 for range, plus 2 for the TMM, plus 1 for the terrain. So we're looking at 3 shots. Need to get us some 8s. So 1 hit, everything else missed. Into the dragon. Thankfully, the dragon is a tough boy. He's got a lot of life. Alright, I'm going to shoot with the Flashman into this guy right here. So the Flashman's this trash can over here. He's the trash can right here. He's going to shoot into this guy down here. Alright. So, our Flashman's got 4 shots at medium range. How do I know all these are medium range and not long range? Honestly, long range is so long that it is longer than the table I have. So if they are not short range, they are medium range. That's why you're not seeing me measure ranges a lot for the shooting. Because if they aren't within 6 inches, they're going to be medium range on this table. So, like, long range is longer than the table is. So, all right, 4 shots going into that little boy. Do we determine what his TMM is? So let's do that real quick. So we're looking at 3s. Plus 2 is 7, plus terrain is 8, which means that all 4 of these shots unfortunately miss, which is a big bummer. Big bummer. Alright, they get to go. Let's see, who are they moving next? The Howler. Oh wait, I take that back. This guy would still get to activate. So they're going to shoot with the Howler. He's going to be 1 dice. Ooh, lame. Howler's actually not going to be able to do anything with where he's at, so. Alright, so that's his turn. So I'm going to get to move the Mercury now, or shoot with the Mercury. So I guess the Mercury is just going to put his dinky little 2 shots into the King Crab there. So 2 shots with Mercury into the King Crab. So we are going to look at 3s. Plus 1 is going to make it 4, right? He's at short range, so he's not going to add anything else to that. But they do have terrain between them, so we're looking at 5s. 2 shots going into 5s into the King Crab. Alright, so that is a 9 and a 6, or 9 and a 7, so 2 damage into the King Crab. Spoiler alert. The King Crab don't give a fuck about 2 damage. This thing could take 2 damage literally every turn of the game and be perfect. And you wouldn't even get through its armor. Alright. So, I screwed up earlier. I pulled this guy off the table. This is the Fire Moth that I blew up. I should not have removed him from the table yet because he still has yet to activate. So, he's going to get to activate. So what he's going to do is he's going to shoot the Raven for 1 damage, right? So it's going to be TMM of 3 plus 2, no terrain in between, short range. So 3 plus 2, so that would be 5. So he's getting a 6, which means that I'm going to put a damage on the Raven. Which blows up the last bit of the Raven's armor. And now he's removed from the table. Alright. Let's see. Who do I have that hasn't gone? I have the Hatchet Man who hasn't gone. The Hatchet Man, I guess we'll try to shoot this guy, which is going to be 2 shots. So we're looking at 3s plus 2 plus 2 is 7. We're going to say there's terrain in the way, so we're going to look for 8s. Though I rolled 2 6s, rolling a 1 on the pilot die kills both of them. So nothing. Nothing on that. Alright, now it's enemy time. So they get 2 guys left. They have the Wolverine and the Pack Hunter. The Wolverine is 2 dice. Alright. I guess he'll try to shoot at the Raven, but we're going to get numerous pieces of terrain in the way. So we're going to look at 3s plus 2 plus 2 plus another 2. So we're going to be looking at 9s. Ironically, he got 2 9s. Wow. That guy's a goddamn sniper. Alright. So we're going to put 2 points of damage onto the Raven, which means we need a critical hit. Now this Raven, although he took 2 points of damage on his internals, he's only going to take 1 critical hit because it's per hit, not per red square you fill out. So we rolled a 5, which is a dash on our table. So nothing there. He is perfectly fine. He survived his critical hit, but he does only have 1 point of life left. Okay. Alrighty. 1 person left, which is the Pack Hunter, which is this guy right here. He should probably shoot the Mercury, I imagine. Or would he shoot... Let's see. No, the Mercury's not in terrain, so let's shoot that way. So he's going to shoot into the Mercury. The Pack Hunter is looking at 2 damage. Or 2 dice, I'm sorry. He's looking at 2 dice. So he is looking at 3s, plus 2 is 5, plus 4 is 9, which means that he got 1 damage into the Mercury. Alright, and that is the end of shooting for turn 1. So, other stuff that your guys can do. This was just a pure, just regular shooting match. Other stuff that they can do. So a lot of them have these special rules here, right? Where they can use these extra weapons if they're at certain ranges. So if they're at short range, because this is an SRM, this guy can actually fire an extra rocket. This guy has all kinds of stuff, including rear, which is a gun behind him. This guy's got a rear gun and IF-1. Yeah, there's all kinds of special rules. This guy is energy, which means that all of his weapons are energy weapons. So if he takes an ammo hit instead of instantly dying, which normally happens, he just ignores it completely. Same thing to this guy. This guy has case, which means that his ammo is just perfectly fine too. So they have neat little rules like that. That some of the mechs also can overheat. So you'll see this heat scale here. So I can choose to add a point of damage to enemy attacks in exchange for taking a point of heat. Now the heat does different things. It's going to affect my mech in different ways. Trying to find it on here. I know it's on here somewhere. Charge. There it is. The heat will do different things. So at 1 point of heat, my target number is going to be +1, right? My target move modifier is going to be 0. It's not going to gain or lose anything. Hello! And my move is going to be -2. So if I wanted to add 3 damage to an attack, I could do that, but I'd be looking at every subsequent attack having some pretty big heat issues. Now you can dissipate heat by basically just sitting for a turn, and it will clear your heat. Otherwise, your heat goes down by 1 every turn. So, Alright. So, let's do some roll-offs. I'm the rainbow. They're the red. I'm going first, it looks like. Yep, I'm going first. Okay. So we're going to just walk down the line like I've been doing. It's been working pretty good. You know what? I don't want to walk down the line for my guys. So what I'm going to do is we're figuring out playing with ourselves as we go. What I'm going to do is when I activate one of my guys, I'm going to tap the cards. So you probably couldn't see that, but I have the cards in front of me like this, right? So when I activate them, I'm going to tap them like that. That's what I'm going to do. That way I don't have to walk down the line and I have some more control. I'm going to keep the enemies walking down the line, but it's going to give me some more control. So, on that note, I'm going to walk and do the thug. He's going to get himself 8 points of movement. I'm going to go up in here. Alright, the enemy gets to go. So the Orion is the first enemy. He's going to move this way. The Orion has 8 points of movement. Boop. Okay. I'm gonna 10-inch move on this Raven. I need to hide him a little because he's really low life, so he's going to go over here. Right. Now enemy gets to go. Let's see what way they're going. They're going to come this way, and that's going to be the Mongrel, who has 14 inches. Alright, I think I'm going to move my dragon next with his 10 and just get him up in there to take some shots. I think that's probably the best course of action with him. He'll be my like distraction Carnifex from the AI, so I'm not pushing in very well. Alright, next enemy. See what they're doing. They're going to move backwards. Who is it? It's the Battle Cobra. So he's just basically going to move back like that and then just hit the wall. Ooh, now here's an interesting question. Playing with the random movement. Do they always turn to face the direction they moved? I would say yes. I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. I think that makes the most sense. Alright, let's do the Centurion. Say, figuring out how to play with ourselves. Giggity. Next enemy. I'm going to move down this way, and that's going to be the King Crab. Man, it's getting pretty dense over there, I ain't gonna lie. That's too much. Apologize for moving camera. There we go. Since all the guys have moved out of this area now, we'll update that camera a little. Okay. So it's my turn now. I guess I'll move the Flash Man. Go. And the enemy's going to move. They're going to move that way, which is the Arctic Cheetah, who has 12-inch move. All right. Next, I've got the Mercury. The 20-inch move, but he's not going to do anything. So he's going to stay there, and he's going to try to cap this, is what he's going to do. So if I don't start capping stuff, I'm not going to win. He's not the best choice for that, but oh well. Next, we've got the Howler. Who's going to move this way? At least he's getting into the battle. Go. Alright, and my last but not least is the Hatchet Man, who's going to move his Piddly 8. There it goes. Alright. So the enemy has the Wolverine and the Pack Hunter still. So the Wolverine is going to stay where he's at. Swap his dice to 6. There it goes. And then the Pack Hunter... he's going to move this way. He can't really move that way. So we'll say he, like, does that. We'll say he does that. Alright. Well, I've got, like, a wave of guys moving up the board right here. And the enemy's kind of... coalescing in this area with their random movement, which is pretty neat. So yeah. Now it's Morbin time. I believe they went first, so they get to shoot now. Resetting all my cards, so I can tap them again when I shoot. So the Orion's going to shoot first at 4. 4 dice. Going into the closest thing he can see, which is my dragon. So none of those are going to hit, but we're going to walk through it just for... We're still doing it. 3, 2 for range, right? Plus TMM of 2, right? Plus terrain. Okay. Okay, so we're looking at 8 there. None of these are 8. Okay, so the Orion does nothing. Should put damage into the King Crab, but instead I'm just going to reduce their actions for next turn. Alright. And we're just going to shoot the Battle Cobra in the back. So we're looking at 3. Plus 1. If he takes any damage, it's just going to be 1 extra damage because he's getting shot in the back. Alright, so we're looking at which is probably medium range. Nope, short range. Okay. Short range, so we're looking at 3 plus 2 is 5. So, unfortunately, only one of those hits. So, 1 point of damage. Unfortunately. Okay. That's his crit roll, which is a 5, which should be nothing, I believe. Yep, it's nothing. Alright, cool. Well, that was super lackluster. I really wanted to blow that robot up. But, oh well. Oh, bad pilot rolls will do that. That's one of the reasons I like the pilot system with these dice, doing the death from above way. I think it's neat because, like, you know, it's like your guy flubbing it, right? And sometimes those shots are still going to do damage, and sometimes they're not. But it's still, like, based on, like, how your pilot's doing. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Enemy turn. The Mongrel. Mongrel's packing 4 damage coming out. He's going to shoot. Probably the dragon as well. I think that's the closest thing. So 4 damage into the dragon. Alright, and we're looking at 3 plus 2. So 3 for pilot, 2 for TMM, 2 for range, and then we're looking at another 2 for terrain, right? So only one of these is going to hit at a 10. So 1 more point of damage on the dragon. Alright, now it's my turn. Oh, I take that. Oh man, I fucked that up. I meant to shoot with. Yeah, crap. I looked at the wrong card. That's my bad. That's my bad. Alright, so we're gonna shoot with the I'm gonna shoot the Hatchet Man. So that's gonna be 2 dice. We're going to shoot into him. 2 dice. And we're looking at 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. So that's 1 hit. We are just shipping this 1 mech down. We'll get you one day, Battle Cobra. Alright, that means you get another crit. So let's see what it is. 3. What is a 3? Three is the engine. Okay, what does your engine do when you're hit? Let's see. Oh, every time it fires a weapon to gain heat. Oof, that's rough. That's super rough, actually. Okay, cool. So, their turn. So, ironically, it's the Battle Cobra. So, he's going to shoot into the Mercury because that's the closest thing for him. So, that's this guy plus that guy. Let's do this. There we go. That's a little better, isn't it? It's a little better. No, thank you. Alright. So, this guy has 4 dice, which is a lot of dice. My Mercury is probably about to explode. That one's cocked. I can't see what it is. Okay. So, we're looking at 3 minus 1 because of the standing still. No pluses for range. So all of those hit. So that's 4 damage into my little Mercury. I think he just fucking exploded. He did. But he will still get to activate. But he's going to have a bad time after that. So let's go ahead and activate him so that we can pull him off the board. So he's going to shoot into the same guy. I'm going to pretend they, like, KO'd each other, maybe. Alright. Yeah, that's 2 11s. Those are both definitely guaranteed hits. And that is enough to wipe out the Battle Cobra. So yeah, they did KO each other. I was going to have this guy stand there and cap that point, but kind of moot since he was going to blow up. I might as well shoot with him. You know? Okay. Well, those two suicided each other, which works pretty well. We're literally trading like 1 for 1 here. And I haven't taken a single point yet. So I think that's going to be my thug's job. It's just to sit on some points. Enemies get to go. Who would go next? The King Crab would go next at 3 damage. So he's going to shoot into the dragon at 3 damage. That's, let's see, 3 plus 2. They're within short range. So there are no other pluses there. Plus 1 for terrain. So all 3 of those are going to hit and go into the dragon. That is enough to take out all the dragon's armor. Which is a shame because he's one of my heavier hitters. Him and the thug. I guess Flashman's got a lot of armor too. Okay. My turn. Alright, we're going to shoot with the Raven. It's not going to be super effective, but we're going to shoot into the King Crab with the Raven. 2 dice. We're looking at a lot of terrain here. So we're looking at 2 points of terrain. We're looking at medium range. So we're looking at 3s plus 2 for medium range plus 1 for TMM. So that gives us 6 plus 2 more points of terrain. So we're looking for 8s. Thankfully, they both went through at an 8 and a 9. Two more points of damage on the King Crab. But he can just shrug it off all day. That's what the King Crab does. Love that mech. He is an amazing, amazing, amazing tank. Okay. Their turn. Who do they got? They've got the Arctic Cheetah at 3 damage. Which one's the Arctic Cheetah? Is it one of those back there? I can never remember which one's the Arctic Cheetah and which one's the Hellion. That's the one with the rocket pods on the shoulders. Okay, so it's the one all the way in the back in the corner. All the way back there. Alright, so he's going to shoot, I guess, at my dragon. But he's going to be looking at a lot of terrain. Alright, let's be real. None of those are going to hit. I'm not going to bother counting it out. That's a 4, a 6, and a 5. That's not happening. Alright, so it's going to move over to me. Thinking. Alright, we're gonna do the Flashman into the Pack Hunter because I'm just trying to reduce their activations. I think that's the best way for me to score. So the Flashman's looking at 4 damage because he is a boss. So 4 damage into the Pack Hunter. So we're looking at 3 plus 2 plus another 3 plus 1 for terrain. There we go. So we're looking at 9s. So that means, unfortunately, only one of those goes through. Which is a shame. But the Pack Hunter, surprisingly, has a lot of life. He's a weird mech. He's got a decent amount of life. He's got a decent amount of move. And he has long range, which is very interesting. Okay, now the Hellion gets to go at 3 dice. So we're looking at... Which one's the Hellion? It's that one back there. So I guess he'll shoot into the dragon. So we're looking at... Whoa! Okay. So we'd be looking at 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 for cover. So... 2 hits into the dragon. And that unfortunately brings the dragon internal. So we gotta do a crit roll. What is an 11? Ooh, that could be bad. What is an 11? I know a 12 is killed. 11 is an engine. Oh, that's a shame. That means he's gonna start heating up every time he shoots. Okay. I guess we'll keep pummeling that distraction Carnifex. And we'll put... Nah, you know what? Screw it. I want to shoot the Pack Hunter. Yeah, I want to shoot the Pack Hunter. So I'm going to take my Thug, who's 3 shots, into the Pack Hunter. This is going to be 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. So this, only the 9 hits. So it's 1 point of damage in the Pack Hunter. So we rocked him a little, but not enough to really do anything substantial. Alright. And now the Howler gets to go with his extremely piddly 1 damage. Oof. Oof. Let's see, what is he going to shoot? Probably the dragon, because he's out front. And definitely ain't going to do it on a 6. Let's be real. Alright. Needed it. We would have needed at least 7s there. Not even counting terrain, so we probably... Yeah, we would have needed 7s. Alright, so my last guy to go is the Centurion. So that's 3 damage. I'm going to put it into the Pack Hunter. Just because I want to kill something else. Try to even out these equations a little bit here. Right? Like, they got a lot of guys. And as my guys get closer into their thing, they're going to get lit up really hard. So, we're going to try to wipe out some of their backfield. Alright, so this is going to be 3 plus 3. So 3 for his pilot skill, another 3 for the TMM, which is 6. All 3 of these are going to hit because he got... Oh, shit. I actually have double 6s there twice, so he's going to take 2 crits in addition to any other damage. So he's going to take 3 damage... which is actually going to put him into a crit, and then he's going to get 3 total crits. Alright, so crit number 1 is a 3. Crit number 2 is a 3. Crit number 3 is a 7. Man, Pack Hunter had a bad time there. So 2 3s are engine, and the 7 is motive. So he has lost his motivation. My friend literally tells that joke every single time. So his engine is screwed. Alright, so since his engine's screwed, we need to re-roll one of those crits. She can't hurt it twice. That would have been a 4. Or just fire control. Just his heat. So he's having a bad time. He's a limpy, busted ass boy. So now the Wolverine gets to go. So I think the Wolverine's what, a 3-shooter? No, 2-shooter. So the Wolverine gets to go. He hasn't even moved, so he's going to shoot at the dragon. He's the only one in the back, all the way back there. That's the Wolverine. He ain't going to do nothing on 4s. And then the Pack Hunter gets to go. He got an 11. He got 2 11s and a 8. So I guess he would shoot the Centurion, which would end up being 4. So all those hit. I think the Pack Hunter is 3 dice, right? Shit, no. Okay, so 2 of those. So the Centurion is going to take 2 points of damage. And that is turn 2. So as you can see, it starts going pretty quick, like the turns do, especially as your guys start dying. But I have not accomplished any of the objectives yet. So the little guys I threw forward to cap the objectives died, which in retrospect was probably a bad call. What I should have done is held them back, let the big guys walk in to tank the shots, and then sent the little guys off to do their missions. But it's all good. The big guys, they can hold down the fort in this our next turn, which is gonna be, let's see. I got a 7. They got a 6. Enemy has to go first. All right. First dice up. Which way is he moving? He's moving back this way. So he's going to move back to the end of the board. Centurion is. I'm going to move my Raven first. I'm going to move him over here. He has like 20 inches of move, or 14 or something, which is way more than enough. Alright, that's going to be the Raven moved. Enemy's going to come this way, which is going to be the Mongrel at 14. There we go. Moving up to play with everybody. My Thug is going to do this. So next turn he can try to capture. I want to capture at least one of these freaking objectives, man. Alright. Enemy turn. Who's staying still? King Crab. King Crab, holding the line, protecting that objective. Dragon's got 10 inches of... Ow, 10 inches of move. Hi, guys. Alright, so that's Dragon done. Next enemy, let's see what we get. Moving down this way. Who is that? That's the Arctic Cheetah. 12. I guess he just ran away. That works. I'm gonna just turn the Centurion like that. We'll call that done. I'm gonna use him just to clear a couple heads this turn. Next up, see who goes for the enemy. Who's staying still? It's the Hellion. There's a guy all the way in the back again. Wait, or no, is it? Okay, I think it's that guy. No, I messed up. I keep getting these two mechs confused. Alright, they're fine. They're going to stay as they are. Okay. Flashman. He's moving his 10. He's going to come up here and have his duel with the King Crab. Enemy coming this way is the Howler at 14. Man, so he's really running in there. Oop. Hatchet Man says hi. Get wrecked. Last but not least, we've got the Wolverine, who's basically going to stay where he is. But he's actually going to gain TMM, because technically he's going to wiggle. So, and then the Pack Hunter, who's going to move back to the edge of the board. You know what? I guess he should probably move along the edge of the board. So part of me, as I figure out like what the AI should and shouldn't do, I don't really have like a perfect system for it yet, but all right. There we go. So they get to shoot first, which would be the Orion. Orion. Auto parts. Okay. Orion going to shoot into the Flashman, I guess. So shooting into the Flashman. There's the poor Flashman. From the Orion. None of those are going to hit. The Orion has not had good luck. Alright. Sadly, the Pack Hunter ran away, so it's going to be harder to shoot now. You know, let's try to clear some activations. I think that's the trick to me winning and getting some of the objectives. I think is clearing activations. So we're going to shoot from the Flashman into this guy. The Flashman's 4. How much life does that guy have? He's got 6 life, which is a little bit too much for one person to kill. Alright. So let's count this one out, because some of these are going to hit. So, we're looking at 3 for pilot skill, 3 for movement. Right. Another 2 plus terrain. So we're looking at needing 9s. Actually, unfortunately, none of those hit, which is a real shame, because the Flashman was like he's my big gun boy, and he really let us down there. Big time letting us down, Flashman, big time. Alright, enemy turn. The Mongrel gets to go. With 4 damage. The Mongrel will be shooting into the Centurion. Zoom out a little bit so you can see that. There we go. Sorry for movie camera. I just should be able to see the bottles. There's our There's our Mongrel shooting into the Centurion, who's right here. So we're looking at 3 plus 1 for TMM is 4. Which means that all of these hit, which is a bad day for the Centurion. There goes all the Centurion's armor, which means he needs a crit roll. And it's a 7. Which is motive. Motive, by the way, is movement. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to do the interesting thing. I think I'm going to do the Hatchet Man. So the Hatchet Man's going to attack in melee. How melee works is it size plus 1. So that's 3. So the Hatchet Man's going to attack with 3. However, because he actually has a hatchet, it's going to be plus 1 damage on each of these. So melee does a lot of damage. So we're looking at 6 damage. And he's hatcheting the little thing in front of him. Gonna cut it up. So TMM there is 3 plus whatever the movement is, which is another 3. So we're looking for 6s, which means that 2 of these are going to go away. And the rest are going to hit. So we're doing 4 damage to the Howler, which is enough to kill it. It will still get to fight, so we're not going to pull it from the board yet. But he just walked up and like basically like Voltroned it in half. Just like, and the Howler is having a bad time. All right, so that's the Hatchet Man. So next up, we got the King Crab. The King Crab will shoot the Flash Man. He's going to gain +1 to his TMM. Yep. So he's going to be 3 plus 2. He's in short range. -1 is 4s. So all of these hit. So 3 damage into the Flash Man. If I can find him. There he is. There we go. Next up, we're gonna do the Raven. Screw it. 2 damage into the King Crab. None of those are gonna hit. Oh no, wait, maybe they would. No. One of them will hit, because we're looking at 3 plus 2 for range plus 1, because he has a TMM of 0. So one of those will hit into 1 damage into the King Crab. So he takes the tiniest chunk out of the King Crab's armor. Just for record, if my entire team poured all of their shots and hit with everything into King Crab, they could not kill it in 1 turn. The King Crab would survive it. That's how awesome a tank it is. Alright, so my turn. Tap the Raven there, and we will move on to... I really wanted to kill that Pack Hunter, and then it ran away. Screw it, let's try it. Centurion's going to try to kill the Pack Hunter. So this guy to this guy. So we're looking at 3s for target pilot skill, another 3 for the TMM of the target, plus 2 for ranged, plus another 1 for cover between them. Alright, so we are looking for 9s and aboves. Holy shit, I got one. That 1 point of damage will be enough to kill the Pack Hunter, who we will pull off the table after his turn is up. Alright, good job, Centurion. It's a shame you're probably about to die. Okay, enemy turn. Let's see. Arctic Cheetah time. 3 shots from that guy down there into the dragon. At 4s, none of those hit. So, my turn then. We'll shoot at the dragon into him. Screw it. Why not? So we're looking... The dragon actually doesn't do a lot of damage. So we're looking at 2s. Alright. One of those could potentially hit, so we're going to see what it does. So we're looking at 3 plus 0 plus 2 is 5. Ooh, actually, is that short or long range? This actually makes a difference. It's medium range. Damn it. Otherwise, that'd be 2 hits. Alright, 1 hit going into whatever the hell that thing is. The Arctic Cheetah. These markers kind of suck. I need to get different ones. Alright, enemy turn. Hellion, which is this guy. He is 3 shots. 3 shots going into the Flashman. Alright, so we're looking at 3s. Plus 2, plus 1 for cover. He did not get anything that's a 6 or above, so he is good. Okay, my last guy is going to be the Thug. And I'll shoot back at the Hellion with the Thug, why not? Yep, none of those are going to hit. Wait, no. So there's a 6 in there, so it would be 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7, so none of those going to hit. Okay. Enemy turn only. Who's left on the enemy turn? The Howler gets to shoot with his 1, so he would shoot into the Hatchet Man there. And he would hit for 1 damage. We'll mark that on the Hatchet Man. The Wolverine will get to shoot for 2 or 3. 2. And I guess he would probably shoot into the dragon. None of those are going to be able to hit it either way. There is a 7 in there, so we would have 3, 2 for TMM, 2 for range, at least 1 for cover, so the 7 wouldn't do anything. Last but not least, the Pack Hunter, before he goes away, he would probably shoot into the Flashman. So we're looking at 2 shots into the Flashman. One of which is a 7, so one of which is going to hit. The 5 is not enough. Or is it? No, it's not, because he need to be a 7. So we're looking at 1 point of damage again on the Flashman. Which is a real shame, because that King Crab beat the shit out of the Flashman. Alright. And that is the end of turn 3. And now we got to pull some stuff off the board. So, got to pull the Pack Hunter, and I've got to pull the Howler Monkey. So, you're gone because you got cut down the middle like Voltron, and you're gone because you got shot in the back while you were running away. Okay. Now, I need to try to score some points. Crab tanks are really neat. I agree. The King Crab is one of my favorite designs. It's very, very cool. Now I really need to try to score some points. I've dropped a lot of their activations. I could probably drop some more. That might be a good thing to try to do. Or I could try to just, like, grab points this turn and just, like, eat them points. I think that might be what I do. I think I might specifically try to grab points. We'll see. Alright, let's roll off. My turn versus enemy turn. I got a 7. They got a 10. I have to go first. Alright, you know what? The Flashman's going to do this. Just so he can melt some fools if he has to. That's what he's going to do. Ah, meh. I want the... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, now the enemy's going to go first. Let's see where the Orion is going. He's going backwards. He's running away. There he goes. Just barely on camera, right there. It's the Orion. Okay. My turn. I'd like the Hatchet Man to be attack the King Crab. I think it's one of the few chances I had to kill it. Is to Hatchet Man it. So I think we'll wait on the Hatchet Man activation. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Birdo back here, the Raven, he's going to try to capture that objective, so he's not going to move. Alright, so he's capturing it. And then enemy turn. That's cocked. Staying still is the Mongrel. Okay. Setting up for that sniper action. Alright. The Thug is going to try to capture this point as well. And alright, and then it's enemy turn. King Crab's going to stay where he is, which is good for me. So then my Hatchet Man is going to do this. Which means he is going to take a full frontal blast from the King Crab, but he can survive it for at least one turn. On turn 2, it will probably kill him if they all hit, but at least he'll get some good whacks in there with his crab claw, like trying to get at that crabby meat. You're staying still. You're staying still. I think we're going to use this chance to grab as many points as possible. And we will appreciate the Flashman's sacrifice, because he will probably not survive this turn. And we're going to hold that point. And the Centurion... Or I guess it's enemy turn now. Who's moving that way? It's the... I skipped the enemy turn a couple times like a douche. Alright, so the Arctic Cheetah is going to back up. He really can't back up any further than that. But it does mean he's going to pick up a TMM. So he is TMM 3. Pardon the reach. He was a douche and decided to go all the way in the back corner. You can't even see him. There he is. Right? I got to turn off my camera so you can see him. That's how far back in the corner the AI douche there is. Alright. So let's do another one of their actions because I skipped one of their turns. Moving out this way is the Hellion. He's not going to be able to get very far. He's just basically going to move up to block that. Last but not least is going to be my Centurion. I'm going to be a cheeky bugger with the Centurion. I'm going to do that. Because he already declared he's staying still. So he can't really hit me. Alright. Next up, I think we have... Who's next? the Wolverine. So, I mean, the Wolverine has not wanted to move out of his spot. So, I understand that. Alright. Now we're into turn 4. Shooting. You know what? We're going to do the Hatchet Man first, because I want to see what he can do with his Crab Cracker. So we're going to be looking at 6 dice for him into the crab. We got 6 dice. Let's see if he can get at some of that juicy crab meat. Oh, buddy, he can. All 6 of those hit. Because this is just a 3. That's all it is. So all 6 of those hit. So that's a bad time for the crab. So that wipes out the rest of his armor. And 1 point of internal. Which is an 8. What is an 8? An 8 is a weapon. Ooh! So he cleaved off one of them claws. That's a bad time. I think I'm going to make my sub-objective to kill the king crab. I think I'm going to be grab as many tokens as possible and kill the king crab. Yeah, ouch. Alright, so enemy turn. The Orion gets to shoot. Closest thing is the Flashman. So we're looking at 4 shots going into the Flashman. So we're looking at 3s plus 2 for range, plus 2 for distance, plus 1 for cover. So 3 of those are going to hit the poor Flashman. That's going to finish off the rest of his armor. Flashman, I appreciate your service. Okay. My turn. It's going to be the Flashman. I'm really tempted to dump everything of his into the king crab. I'm really tempted to do it. Yeah, fuck it, we're going to. We're going to overheat 1 as well. So we're going to overheat 1 with the Flashman, and we're going to dump it into the king crab. So we're looking at a TMM of 3 for this shot. So, I rolled really poorly there. The pilot die is a 2, and 2 of the dice are 1s, but they all still hit. So we're looking at 5 damage on that. Now, since this is the first time I've used heat in this game, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the card, and I'm going to mark the heat. So I remember that he's 1 high heat. Because this will affect him in next round if he survives to that round. I do not see that happening. So he's kind of going out in a blaze of glory a little bit. But 5 damage to the crab, which is pretty baller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crab has 2 left. 2 left on the crab. Just big ouch. Big ouch for him. Okay. So, Mongrel's turn. The Mongrel, he can't see this guy, right? Because he's outside of his firing arc. So he's going to have to shoot at the dragon. So we're looking at 4 dice into the dragon. Okay, so we're going to be looking at 3 for pilot skill. We're going to be looking at 2 for distance, which brings me to 5. He has a 0 TMM plus 1, right? So that's 6, which means that all 4 of these hit, which is a really, Really bad time for my dragon. You could say he's a bad dragon almost, because that actually kills him. Alright, so I guess there's not much point in having him hold that point, because he's not going to be able to do it. So fuck it. While he's exploding and going down that last blast of glory, he will shoot. He's going to shoot into the king crab, because screw it. So, 2 shots from the dragon. If they both hit, he could actually do it. 2 shots. We're looking at, is this more than 6? It looks like more than 6 to me. That's not more than 6. I'm going to be, yeah, okay, good. I'm going to be a little disappointed. 2 shots. Oh, 3 is not enough. However, it's 1 more point of damage on the king crab, bringing him to 1 point of damage. So we almost killed the king crab, which is fucking awesome. Alright, now the king crab gets to shoot. He's going to shoot into the hatchet man. So that's going to be 2 dice this time, because he took that crit. Actually, it should be 3 dice this time, 2 dice next time. Technically, everything in this battlefield is happening at one time. So any actions you do that affect things, they don't affect this round, they affect the next round. Alright. Yeah, those are going to hit. So it's going to be 3 damage into the hatchet man. That's almost enough to kill him. So, like, basically everybody's smoking it on fire except for the thug. Oh. No, I take... What? Shit, I screwed up. The mongrel should have hit the thug. Not the dragon. So the dragon should have 4 points of life left. God damn it. Similar looking mechs. But that means I did already technically shoot with the thug. Okay. So, crap. Alright, that's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. Okay, so next up, we are on to the Arctic Cheetah with his 3 damage. Arctic Cheetah is it the guy in the fucking corner? It's the guy all the way in the goddamn corner. You can't even see this guy. He's so far in the back in the fucking corner. All the way back there. It's that guy. That stupid asshole that ain't moved out the whole fucking corner this whole time. 3 damage into the dragon. So we're looking at 3s. 2 for range is 5. So all 3 of those hit. Okay, so the dragon is alive on 1 point of life. Okay, so he might still be able to cap things. So now it's my turn. Centurion's going to shoot into the Mongrel's back. So we're going to have 3 shots from the Centurion. Oh wait, 2 shots at close range for the Centurion into the Mongrel's back. Yeah, I mean, they all hit. Plus 1 damage for the back arc. I forgot to do that. Yep, there we go. There we go. 3 damage into the Mongrel. Okay. Alright. Birdo's going to go, and he's just going to hold because he's doing the objective. And then the enemy gets to go, and they get to activate the Wolverine, who is all the way back there. 2 shots from the Wolverine. That is a 7 and a 10. They would go into the Flashman. The 7 isn't really going to do jack shit. The 10, however, will hit the flashman. Okay. So the flashman needs a point of crit, which we're going to check. Add a 9. I think that's motive, right? Nope, 9 is nothing. Alright, cool. Okay, and then the dragon's going to do jack. So, end of turn. This one's capped, so that one's mine. So that's 2 objective points. I take that back. This is the one that I shot with because I'm dumb and screwed up. That one's capped. And then this one's capped. Okay. So I missed a chance to get 3, but it's fine. We could potentially take more too, which is good. But a lot of my guys are on their last legs. The only guy that's pretty much not, like, in the danger zone is the thug. So I could potentially get 3 here, which I think is the best. And my secondary objective of killing the crab. So here we go. Alright, let's roll off and see whose turn it is. They got 8, I got 8. I go first. Okay. Alright, we're going to move the dragon first. He's got a 10-inch move. What we're going to do is we're going to spin him around up here to bring him back on the back side over here. That's what we're going to do with him. So he's probably not going to live this turn, but hopefully I can use him to do a little bit of damage. We're going to ignore that guy just in the corner. I don't think that guy has a lot of damage on him. He's got 1 point of damage. I mean, no, I can't kill him with the dragon before the dragon would die. So we're going to just bring the dragon into the game down here. Alright, enemy turn. Moving backwards is the Orion. Clonk, 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 clonk. Alright. We're going to move 10 inches to move Birdo up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen for the Raven. And we'll try to capture stuff with the Raven next turn. I think that's what we'll do. That way I can move the Thug. So the Thug is like my last big boy on the table. Moving down, we're looking at the Mongrel. He can't move down any further, so we'll say that he moves along the bottom wall, which is what we've been doing so far. Zoom to there. Okay. Crap. Hatchet Man should be able to take out the crab, so don't gotta worry about that. Centurion, we'll just move you up to eat some bullets. You don't have much more point in this. I don't think you can kill the Mongrel. Maybe you can do a little bit more damage to it. You know what? Yeah, that's what we'll try to do. We'll try to get him doing damage to the Mongrel. So he's like chasing after it as the Mongrel runs away. In fairness, you know what? He's driven 2 mechs away. It's kind of funny. They move forward and then they've run back every time. That's happened 2 times now. It happened with the Pack Hunter and then with the Mongrel. Alright. Enemy turn. Is the King Crab. Clank, 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 clank. The King Crab's like, fuck! I'm getting out of here. I have 1 point of life left. You know what? The Hatchet Man's just going to give chase. Actually, you know what? The Hatchet Man's going to move here onto the objective. Because he can at least still shoot the King Crab in the back. I think that's the best play. Alright, enemy turn. Staying still. Who's staying still? That guy in the fucking corner back there. Can't even see him. That guy. That fucker. Making me lean over the entire fucking table this whole game. You're as obnoxious as the Wolverine, who also has not moved. Okay. With that, Flashman wants to keep his TMM, so he's just gonna do a little wiggle woggle like that. Raven's going, and last but not least, I've got the Thug. They have the Wolverine. Oh, and I guess the Hellion. So let's see where the Hellion goes. Forward, it can't go nowhere because it's right up against the Flashman. It gets even closer to Kiss. Even closer to Kiss. And then the Wolverine. I guess I have to move the Thug now. Yeah, screw it. Let's get him in the fight. So we can eat some shots so I can take these bases next turn. And then the Wolverine's just staying where he is too, because of course he is, because he's a dickhead. Alright. Alright, into turn 5. I want to see if I can kill the King Crab. So, shooting with the Hatchet Man, 2 shots plus 1 for being in his back arc. It would be 3 plus 1 is 4. That's it. I got 6, 11, 3 points of damage. That is the end of the King Crab. No! He literally tagged my entire team for several turns, so pretty damn good job, buddy. Pretty damn good job. R.I.P. You did a good job. Okay, enemy turn. First up is the Orion. 4 shots going into who's closer? Is it the Centurion or the Dragon? You are just about 10. You were just under 10. 4 shots going into the Dragon. We are looking at 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7, which means that 2 of those hit. How much life does he have? 1 point of life. So the Dragon is no more. I killed the crab. They killed my dragon. I see how it is. Alright. Well, might as well shoot the dragon before I pull him off the table. It's a much harder shot to shoot. Hold on, I'm debating. Alright. We're going to shoot into the Arctic cheetah. He's right here. Ah! Do I shoot the Orion or do I shoot the Wolverine? I don't think we're going to be able to kill either of those, to be honest, before my team dies. So I think I want to guarantee some kills here. I'm going to shoot into the... I'm going to shoot into that Arctic cheetah. That's what I'm going to do. You know what? Fuck it. Let's shoot into the Mongrel. I think I could probably scrape enough damage to kill the Mongrel. Alright. 2 shots into the Mongrel. It's probably a mistake, but screw it. So I got 7 and 8. So we're looking at 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus another 2 is 8. Plus 1 for cover is 9. I got 110, so 1 point of damage into the Mongrel. Which is not a particular lot. Which is not a particular lot. Oh well. Speaking of the devil, guess who gets to shoot now? 4 damage. Going into... He can't see the Centurion. So... Actually, he could. He's not completely back arc. So you should be able to see the Centurion. 4 damage going into the Centurion. Centurion's going to have a bad time. That's a lot of damage. That's enough to kill the Centurion. Oof. Okay. Well, Centurion's gone. Well, I might as well shoot with the Centurion then. Why not? So, 3 damage going into that Orion. One of those is going to hit. That's it. 1 more damage into the Orion. So we are through all of his armor at least. Or I'm sorry, the Mongrel. 1 more damage into the Mongrel. We're through all of his armor at least. So, okay. Enemy turn. King Crab. King Crab would have shot the Centurion. The King Crab can't see anything to shoot. Plus he's dead, so... Alright. Him being dead doesn't actually make a difference. I want to add that. Because technically everything on board happens at the same time. But him being dead does make a big difference in the fact that, like... It doesn't make a difference at all, I'm sorry. But him not being able to see anything makes a difference, because he ran away. Okay. You know what, we're going to try to melt the Arctic cheetah with the Flashman. So he's going to be +1 to his TNN. We'll pick up another one of those. We'll pick up another heat here. That's fine. So we're hitting on 4s with 5 dice. All of those hit, which means that that little fucker is gone. Melted into the floor. Next turn is the guy up in the corner. I guess he would shoot at the thug. So I'd be looking at 3, 2, The Thug has a TMM of, I want to say 1. So we'd be looking at 6s, plus terrain is 7. So actually all 3 of those would hit the poor Thug. Alright. That's super unfortunate. Thug was like my only guy that still had life. Since Birdo can't cap this turn because he moved, he's going to shoot. And I guess he's going to put shots into the Mongrel. So we're looking at 2 shots into the Mongrel. We're looking at 3, 2, 2, plus 1. So we're looking at 9s. So 1 hit into the Mongrel, which is going to be a critical hit. So let's roll that. That's an 8, which is his weapon, which will be handy if he survives this turn. So Mongrel does a lot of damage. Okay. Well, it would be the Hellion now, who I guess would shoot into the Flashman. Let's see if 3 or 2 damage. 3. 3 damage going into the Flashman. So all of those would hit. Should be enough to kill my Flashman, which is expected. There we go. Flashman, the Raven's done, the Thug is done, Hatchet Borer is done, which means that the only thing left is the Wolverine with 2 shots, which would go into the Thug. Neither of which would do shit. Okay, so we have to pull a lot of models off the table. So you're gone. R.I.P. to Mr. Big Crab. Centurion is gone. Those are both gone. Flashman is gone. You are gone. Dragon is gone. Okay. I would like to... I have 5 markers on the table. I would like to... Oh. 1 second. Apparently this camera froze up and I didn't realize. Okay, we're back. I would like to at least get 3 of the markers off the table. Now it's a question of how the hell do I do that? So, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Which means I've got 3 guys left. They lost the King Crab, and they lost the Arctic Cheetah this turn. They've got 4 guys left. I would also like to kill the Mongrel if possible, as my new secondary objective. So, I've got a Flashman with 3, or I've got a Hatchet Man with 3 life. Okay, that's what I've got. Got a Hatchet Man with 3 life. I've got a Thug with a good bit of life. He can tank a lot of shots. And I've got a Raven with 1 point of life. So what I think I'm going to do... I don't know. Alright, let's roll for initiative and go from there. No point in theorizing. Okay. I have to go first. They have initiative. That sucks. Alright, Birdo's going to stay still. Birdo's going to stay still. Birdo's going to try to cap my 3rd point. That's what he's going to do. The Orion is going to stay where it's at. He's going to hold the ground. Do I want to go for 4? I want to get at least 3 to win. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the Hatchet Man. Although he could stay there and take 4. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hatchet Man's going to take that point. We're playing the objective. Enemy. Mongrel is moving this way. 14 inches. My thug is going to do this. That's what he's going to do. Alright, that's the last guy on my team activated. So now they've got the guy in the back who's going to stay where he is, because of course he just stays in that fucking corner. And they have the Wolverine who's going to stay where he is. Alright. Okay, well, I have to shoot first. So, 3 shots into the Mongrel's back. 4 dice, because it gets +1 damage. That's a dead Mongrel. Well, at least I killed the Mongrel. That's all the shooting I'm going to be doing. And now it is just time to weather the storm and hope we can. Alright. So the Orion's shooting 4 dice into my guy, into my thug. All you don't hit. 3 damage into the thug. It's the last bit of his armor. I need a crit roll. Alright, it's an 8. 8 is his weapon. Oof. Okay. None of my other guys are shooting, so Wolverine, or no, I guess Mongrel next into the thug. Which would be what? 3 plus 1 is 4, which means 1 of those hits, so 1 more point of damage into the thug. 2 dice for a crit. It's a 5, that's a nothing. Alright. Arctic dickhead that's been hiding in the corner this whole time. 4 shots from him, I believe. No, 3 shots from him. Would they go into the thug? Yes, they would go into the thug. 3 shots from him. Oh, all of those hits. That is the end of my thug. Rip-a-rooney. The really rip is that means that the Wolverine is now going to shoot the Hatchet Man. 2 shots from the Wolverine into the Hatchet Man. So that's what? An 8 and a 9. At least one of those hits. Yeah. Fuck, they both hit. Okay. That's the end of turn 5. Alright, so you are gone. You are gone. It means it's enemy team of 3. I capture this objective, and I capture this objective. Okay, so I've taken 4 of the 5 objectives. I have 2 guys who each have 1 point of life. I'm going to call this a win, But we're going to go until the end. We're going to strap on some cannonballs and just ride it to the end. So, fuck it. Let's see what we got. 2 guys with 2 points of life each. That's all we've got left. We both rolled an 11. Motherfucker. Okay. Enemy has to go first. Alright. Random movement. Coming towards me. It's the Orion. He's like, no, it's our last objective. I'm like, I don't care. Because I'm going to try to kill the asshole in the corner. It's been hiding there this whole fucking game. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to kill him. I don't think I have enough ammo to do it, but we're going to try. We're going to try. This is going to doom. This is going to doom all of my guys. But YOLO. Okay. Enemy turn. This is the little asshole in the corner. Yeah, he's walking this way now. Because of fucking course he is. Because he's a douche. By the way, he has a movement of 14. I was counting on you staying in the corner because that's what you've done all game. And then my Birdo. My Birdo's got a movement of 10. Birdo, you know what? If he can be a douche, we're going to be a douche. Birdo's going to do this. And just stand behind him. That's the kind of asshole Birdo is. Okay. Last guy to move is Wolverine. Who stays where he is? Fucking course he does. Anyway, okay. Now into shooting. Two shots from Birdo. Screw it. Into that guy. +1 for being in his back arc. Well, it's a good thing I'm really, really close. Otherwise, none of those would have hit. Oh, wait. None of those hit. Three plus his TMM of 3. One of them hits. Nope, I take it back. One of them hits. One of them hits. Okay. Just gonna move these up here. The Mongrel's dead. One of them hits. Alright, the Orion is going to shoot my... Orion's going to shoot the Hatchet Man. That's a dead Hatchet Man. Okay. Now, Hatchet Man's going to try to shoot that guy too, and he's going to overheat because he's dead, so 3 damage into him. The 7s aren't going to be enough. There's a 6 and a 7 and a 12. The 12 is going to be enough and be a guaranteed crit. That's a 6. What is 6? 6 is weapon. Okay. That little guy in the back can't see anything, but the Wolverine can see him. Can see my Birdo, so he's going to take the shot. He got a 10, which I think is guaranteed to hit pretty much. So 1 point of damage into the Birdo, which is enough to kill him. Alright. And that is the end of my guys on the table. I got 4 objectives off the table. I killed my 2 secondaries that I made up of the Mongrel and the King Crab. I did not kill the asshole that hid in the corner the entire game. And all of my guys died. But that was pretty damn good. Battletech is a very fun game, and as you can see, it can go very quickly. This, I was streaming for about 2 hours once I actually started playing, because there's a bunch of like preamble and stuff where I talked about setups and stuff like that. So if you take that out, I was streaming for about 2 hours. Pretty happy with that, really, getting through a game of this size. We're talking like 10 mechs on one side and like 11 on the other. So 2 hours for that's pretty good. Plus playing by myself, right? So I need to roll for the random movement and stuff, and you know, sometimes having an opponent is much faster, sometimes it's much slower. But yeah, that was pretty good. Not gonna lie. I love this terrain. I'm super, super in love with it. I love the Catalyst Game Labs mechs. I think they just look awesome. I like that they're like, even if they're slightly less detailed, they're detailed enough. I feel like, if you look at the crab, right? Come on. Come on. Right? He has like a bunch of cool detail in there. Right? He's not as detailed as something like Adeptus Titanicus, but he is more than detailed enough. See the visors up in there to be awesome. You know what I mean? Because these are technically like some weird like pseudo plastic. They aren't like normal GW plastic, but I'm more than happy with them. Yeah. That's the thug. But yeah, super, super fun time. Super fun. Battletech is just a really, really good game. If you had just a normal lance of mechs, like 5 mechs, you could do this in like 45 minutes easy. If not shorter than that. But yeah. Yeah, just super, super good. I don't know. I really like Battletech like as a system. And as a world. The lore is a lot of fun, and it's a good time. And the fan base rules, the Death from Above wargaming stuff, really good additions, and I'm happy that they're very commonly accepted by the community, right? Because I feel like they are just direct improvements to the game. Because normally for rolling for damage in this game, what you do is you just roll one set of 2d6, and that determines if you do all of the damage or none of the damage. But rolling with the pilot die, I think, is really neat and kind of thematic. I just think it's cool. So, but yeah, that was my first Battletech game on the channel. Next time, improvements I'll make for next time. I will probably set up the table differently so that I can have better camera angles. I feel like, because this game's a little bit more spread out, sort of like 40K and AOS are. Well, AOS, everything like clunches together, and you can zoom in on it really, really well. But because this game's a little more spread out, I feel like the camera angles aren't as good. Because like this, I love this. I want more of this. I want less of like... I want less of this. You know what I mean? I want more of this. So what I will probably do next time is build like a corridor, I think. And like make it super, super dense. I'll probably also treat terrain differently. I was letting them shoot through the terrain probably more than they should have been able to this time, just because I was trying to keep it going. So yeah. So we'll probably do terrain differently next time, and I think I'll set up the board a little differently. But yeah, really, really good. I like Battletech a lot. It's probably right now my favorite tabletop game, followed by Warcry, and then probably Grimdark, Future, Firefight, and then probably Stargrave. Not that anybody asked, but there you go. That's what you get. That's what you get. Random tidbits coming to my channel. But yeah, it was really fun, and I feel like that helped get me a little bit out of my malaise I've been in this weekend. Which is really nice because I've been a little bit down. So this was really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I will be definitely streaming something next weekend. I will probably not stream a game, but I will probably stream something. I have a lot of stuff I have to do next weekend to get ready for a trip I'm going on. So I will probably not have time to stream like a game like this, because this takes a while to set up. Because if this is actually my crafting desk as well, so like I had to move all the crafting stuff off my desk and then move this on, which isn't a huge hassle, but I mean, it's the nature of having a small house in Hawaii and not having like a dedicated filming space. But I live in paradise, so it's fucking worth it. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna call it there, and I will catch you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun.